Hey there peeps, Kiwi Lisa here. This is going to be my 50th uploaded video and I thought it's appropriate on this occasion to do something a little bit different and introduce myself. Yep, Kiwi Lisa out and about. I'm a Kiwi, born in New Zealand, been living here in Australia for over 20 years now. So I'm going to invite you to subscribe to my channel. Give me a thumbs and a like, comment below with what you want to know. What am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? But I'm going to share with you where it all started. Well, I never used to like to travel, except for to and from New Zealand. And the only reason I don't like to travel or didn't like to travel was motion sickness. Do you ever get motion sickness? Well, it is actually a thing. I used to get sick on a 3-hour flight to and from New Zealand, that's right, until I discovered medication. I discovered medication on my trip, my first overseas trip to Canada. That was actually my most memorable trip. I went with my sister who lives in New Zealand and we spent 2 awesome weeks in Vancouver, Banff, Whistler. We even went to Seattle. On that trip, yeah, it's a long flight. I got sick, had to get some medication in Canada, but ever since that trip it has opened up the will to travel. Discovered medication that allows me to not get sick. On that trip, what didn't we do? Well, we experienced Canada when it was just starting to get winter. We've seen awesome nature, awesome scenery, lakes, beautiful lakes, frozen lakes. We met some awesome people, did some awesome things, and I did my first stint in backpackers. I never wanted to do it, not sure I want to do it again, but I think these days not backpacking, but staying in a hostel is a thing if you want to save money. So I reckon Canada I will be back. Maybe I'll even hire myself a camper van and do a road trip in the summer. Wouldn't that be awesome? So my most memorable was Canada. My most special was a trip with my daughter to Hawaii. It's kind of like, what didn't we do on that trip? I had booked all my tours before I left Australia with, I think, Discover Hawaii tours. I had planned things every 2 days. We did a lot. We did tours around the island. We did cultural experience where we went to the Polynesian Cultural Centre, did a luau, we did a submarine tour, we did snorkeling, and we did an awesome full-day tour to the big islands and the volcanoes. That was the best day ever. The only regret on that particular trip was we didn't see the volcanoes from the air, which was via helicopter. At the end of that trip, we actually did have some spare money, so I decided to have my first helicopter flight. A bit scary. It was even an open air one. So we were holding on for our dear life, well I was anyway because I was freaked out. But if you ever have the opportunity to see a destination from up in the sky, you've got to do a helicopter tour. That's how I like to do things these days. So whenever there is an opportunity, I will book a helicopter tour any day. Also on that tour we did Pearl Harbor. That, oh my god, Pearl Harbor. You know when you do something and it has meaning. You know, that was real. That did really happen. So any sort of history, anything that takes you back to an event or an occasion, the feeling is so much different. So that was awesome. And then in the helicopter, we even seen it from above. So yeah, Hawaii was my most special holiday. The most cultural shock or place that I've been to is probably Thailand and Phuket. Well, that was the first stint of a cultural shock. You know, you get off the plane and you're driving from the airport to your accommodation, and you are seeing 4 people on a motorbike with no helmets and kids on these motorbikes. It's like, what the heck is going on here? Where they're living, the I don't even know what do you describe it, where they live, like the streets are different to our normal streets here in our civilized country. Sorry about being so rude about that, but it was like the streets are dirty and they have exposed power lines, and it's like, it was a wee bit weird and a wee bit different for me. It was my first cultural shock. And it was also one of my first scary scary events. You know, you go to the markets and they have some back stores. They're always telling you to buy, come and buy. It's like, it was just surreal for me to experience that. You know, when they're trying to get you to come into the back of their sales area. It's like, no, I'm not doing that. So that was kind of scary as well. Normal to them, it wasn't ever going to be scary, but oh my God, I thought I was going to get kidnapped. But no, on that particular tour, it was like we're in like a tropical destination. So we did lots of things like boat trips. We did Phi Island, snorkeling in water that, like, the salt of the water is like, oh my God, but it was beautiful to swim and snorkel in some beautiful blue waters. So I'd say that the next holiday that I can describe is, what can I describe? The most rewarding holiday. Well, this is actually my first destination I did solo. So I went to South America. By myself. I started in Buenos Aires. Bit of a culture shock, because guess what? They don't speak English. And I actually didn't know that. That might have been me being naive. But the first thing I did is I got off my flight. My pickup wasn't there. I'm traveling by myself, freaking out, going, well, I can't speak the language. My transfer's not there to pick me up. I tried to go to a phone to ring the number on the transfer document, and the number I call don't speak English. So I was like, oh, okay, I had no idea what to do. But obviously I'd gone to someone who could speak English. They were able to translate for me, and it did work itself out. So, hot tip, if you go into a country where you don't speak their language, might be pay to brush up on a few of the main language phrases. I will do that next time. But Buenos Aires, people were telling me, oh, don't go out by yourself, but oh no, did I listen? No. I went out at night the first night I got there. You know, I'm not naive. I know that it's probably not safe, but I didn't feel unsafe. Yes, I went out at night time. It was in the main Buenos Aires. I didn't feel unsafe. So was that just me having some good luck? I don't know. But Buenos Aires was beautiful. I did walk around a lot by myself. I did go to some fantastic places. There were some beautiful buildings and architecture. So yeah, I enjoyed myself in Buenos Aires. Went to Lima after that, and yes, I did get a little bit scared, because again, I didn't speak the language. The street signs were all in a different language. I had a map, and I was out by myself, and I was told, you know, it's not scary, but just be aware of your surroundings, which I was. But it was still scary when I went out. I did get lost, even though I had a map, and I couldn't read the map. It didn't work out, and it was getting dark, so I did find my way back to my hotel. But I might say, yeah, when you travel by yourself, it can be scary at times. So that's just something to think about. The rewarding part of that holiday, though, is what I was wanting to do the whole time was I did the anchor trek. Yes, I hiked hardcore and accomplished something that a lot of people want to do, and I did it. So when I booked this holiday, I had no idea. I just booked it, didn't even know where South America was, but I went, I like the look of that, I want to do that. So yep, hardcore, I booked a holiday, and I knew that I needed to train for that, which I did. I did altitude training, I lost a lot of weight, I got really fit, and guess what? I hiked the Inca Trek to Machu Picchu. So those people that do it on the train, they do it easy. So that was the most rewarding holiday I've ever done. So another awesome holiday that a destination, I've always wanted to go to Vegas. Has anyone ever wanted to go to Vegas? I like a little bit of a tinkle on the pokies here. Yep. So Vegas, God, Vegas is a gambler's paradise. So I've always wanted to go to Vegas. In June, it's really hot, really hot. I wanted to do Vegas. My daughter was having her birthday, she was turning 21, and we thought, wow, let's take my daughter to Vegas. She didn't really want to do Vegas, she wanted to do New York. So we decided to what? We decided to go to LA first. LA because I've always wanted to go to Disneyland. Isn't it everyone's dream as a kid to go to Disneyland? Wasn't disappointed. God, got to go to Disneyland. You know, you meet Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse and Donald Duck. You get to see the castle. There's fantastic, awesome rides. It's like open all day till like midnight. There's fireworks, there's parades. Like, yeah, Disneyland rings a bit around our dream world and Wet and Wild and all that stuff here in Australia. So because my daughter wanted to do New York, we went to New York, and wow, New York blew my mind, blew our mind. It's like we were only there for 5 days, but whew, we jam-packed a lot of stuff in 5 days. We didn't do it all, but I would definitely go back to New York. So New York, what was my favorite thing? Walking the Brooklyn Bridge at sunset. Yep. Traveling on the subway, going up at sunset up on the Rockefeller Center. Wow, man, the most awesomest sunset that I've ever seen, and it happened to be in New York. We were there on the 4th of July, and they are damn skippy good with their fireworks, red, white, and blue, right across the sky. So yeah, so I really enjoyed New York, and I will be back there one day. And then Vegas, baby. It is a gambler's paradise, man. Every single casino you go in, they're offering you drinks to stay there. Yeah, you could spend a lot of money, but no, that was the end of that holiday, and I really had none left over. But a big bucket list on that particular trip was the Grand Canyon. Yep, we did the Grand Canyon, and we did it in style, by helicopter at sunset. So helicopter from Vegas out to Grand Canyon, had a champagne feed there, got to spend some time at the Grand Canyon, and then when we flew back, and as we were flying back into Vegas, the lights were coming on, so that was fantastic. So that was another awesome trip. And what's the last one? The last memorable, I don't know what I could describe this one as, but if you ever gonna do some sort of holiday, you got to do a safari, right? And after I'd done that Inca trek, I went, what could I do better than that? It's like safari, right? The next thing I'm going to do is safari. So yeah, so I went to Dubai first, did that by myself. I won't talk about that one in this trip, but you can go and check out my videos that I've done on Dubai for that one. A safari in South Africa. Oh my God. The best part of that holiday was I went to Cape Town. I met some awesome Cape Town locals. Never met them before, but I spent some beautiful days with some locals, and they took me around their little wee city. And to be honest, they even said to me that they showed me some of the places that they had never been before, and I introduce them to other places that they will be going to again. So, but anyway, getting back to my safari. So, oh my God, safari, you got to do a safari. Far out, they are freaking awesome. So I did an Intrepid tour, and it was, the best part of that tour was the Okavango Delta, where you literally are camping in safari lands. Like a lion could come and wildlife can come. Yes, that's right. And actually it did. The hippopotamuses, hippos, is that what it is? Hippos were spotted just by our camp. They came to our camp, the old pollers, and said, please don't venture out because the hippos have been spotted like 100 meters from our camp. But I did it as part of a tour, and we had pollers. They were there to help us get on from our makorals, which were canoes, out to the Okavango Delta. We spent 2 nights out there with no cooking facilities. We cooked our own food. We swam in the Okavango Delta. We did safaris coming out our ears. God, safaris are awesome. So you got to do a safari. That's all I can say. So that, I would say that was an awesome trip. I don't know how to describe that one, but safaris just blew my mind. That whole holiday, spent 3 weeks, Dubai, Cape Town, Johannesburg, Botswana, and then ended up in Zimbabwe. So go and check out my Okavango Delta video. It was pretty rubbish, the video itself, because that was a long time ago, but it was friggin' awesome. So I think that's really good, just summing up a little bit. This video's probably gone on forever and I've probably blabbed on and on and on, but that's just a little bit about me and where it all began. You know, COVID shut us down. I don't travel anymore. You know, last year I was planning on a 3-month trip to Europe, which I couldn't do. So now I'm just out and about in Queensland, in Brisbane, doing a bit, sharing it with you, sharing it on my channel. Done a few hikes, done a few things around Brisbane. I'm trying to get out there and share it with you guys. So really, if you've enjoyed this video, why don't you give me a comment below, give me a like, a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel. I don't know how this YouTube thing works, but I'll spot you in the next video, peeps. So enjoy, and that's from me. Booyah!